Hello dolls, and welcome back to another video. In my last video, I talked about all the popular and fantastic pant styles of the 1960s and 70s, and today I would like to share 12 1960s and 70s inspired pant outfit ideas with you. I just kind of went through my closet. These are basically all the pants that I own. Besides like a couple of pairs. I actually prefer dresses and skirts, but there are some really cool 60s and 70s looks you can style with pants, and today I want to share a couple of these with you. So yeah, get yourself a drink, get comfortable, and let me share some pant styles with you. I would like to start with a definitely more earlier 1960s inspired look with these capri pants. They are a little longer than like the classic capri, and they also have this fun little hem in the front, but I really adore them. The little green gingham is just so perfect. These kind of styles were super popular in the early 1960s, and parts of it were also really popular in mod fashion. With these pants, I really wanted to go a kind of like prim and proper early 1960s look, so I decided to go with this little cardigan. I actually got this from the Octopus Garden, and it is so pretty with all the embroidered details. This is just such a fun little spring-inspired style. I decided to add this white little belt with a square buckle. You will definitely see this a couple of times throughout this video, that I often wear belts with pants that don't necessarily need belts, but I feel like it just adds a lot to the look. So even though these pants do not have belt loops, I definitely prefer the look with the belt. And then for accessories, I wanted to keep it simple, and within the white color scheme, I went with these white little heels. They're definitely more of like a late 60s going into the 70s kind of look, but I don't really have a lot of late 50s, early 1960s looks, so I felt like these would do. And because there's green and there's pink, I just wanted to keep it a little more simple on the shoes. I also added this white little bag. This is like a classic mod purse. The square shape, everything about it is just simply perfect. And then to finish it off and tie it all together, I decided to go with a white little beret. This next look is inspired by one of my all-time fashion muses, the wonderful Sharon Tate. I'm gonna try to put up a picture of the style that I kind of wanted to recreate with this. I love the pants that she's wearing. She's wearing like a black kind of corduroy pant that is definitely more a straight cut. I would love a pair like this. I've been on the lookout for eternity now, but a pair that I have that is kind of close to it in style and shape are these leather pants. I originally got them because I love Marianne Faithfull in the Girl on the Motorcycle film, and I thought that these would kind of work for that kind of styles too, but today I want to style this Sharon Tate inspired look. So this is a big contrast from the look that I just showed you, because this definitely lives more in the late 60s. I started with just a classic black turtleneck. You can just not go wrong with these. And then I added this Baker's Boy hat. I feel like these hats are just so effortlessly cool, and Sharon Tate really had this wonderful style. I love how sometimes her style was so dreamy, but then she could also do these really edgy looks. Because this definitely is a more bohemian inspired style, I wanted to add a necklace, and I decided to go with this one. Isn't it so beautiful? I love it. What a wonderful vintage find. And then for a belt, because these pants actually need one, I decided to go with this one. This one is from the late 60s too. It's this wonderful kind of snakeskin belt, and I really love this buckle. These kind of like large metal buckles were so popular in the 60s. And for shoes, I wanted to keep it simple, just with some suede boots. For me personally, ankle boots are just the way to go with most pants. And Sharon truly was the queen of wearing big fur coats, and I love the look that that has. So I decided to add this giant fur coat. I actually thrifted this one, but it isn't real fur. You can see here, this is kind of like the label that tells you that this is, it says here fur fabric and that you should fur clean it only, but if you look in here you can see the like woven structure. So this is like a fake fur, which I feel like is so interesting, because when we talk about real fur and a lot of people not liking to wear it, and I always say I think it is okay to decide wearing real fur if it is vintage or a hand-me-down. And I think it is so interesting because people always say, oh, the idea of fake fur, it is so modern, it's so new, and it really isn't. It has been around since the 1960s. Next up, I have these pants. They're like a very classic with this kind of like fold in the front. These pants were especially popular among men. This is kind of like the female version to the pants that the Beatles used to wear in the beginning of their careers, but this was also a kind of pant that was definitely popular among women like Twiggy, and I wanted to style it in a kind of like dandy look. This is a look I could see someone like Marianne Faithfull wear, and this is a look that I love to wear. It's just another one of those wonderful late 1960s looks. I decided to go with this blouse. I've shown you this a couple of times now. It's just so beautiful. The pattern, the ruffly top, I love everything about it. And then I wanted to wear it with a vest. And the only black vest that I have is this one. Also, it has a strap in the back because I made it tighter for an outfit a couple of weeks ago. It is beaded and it just didn't really work with the look. What worked, however, was turning it inside out. So that's what I did, and then you just get this black shiny little vest. I feel like these kind of waistcoats were so popular in the late 1960s. They're a little longer, they go above the butt, they go really well with shorts, with skirts, but definitely also with long pants. For shoes, I wanted to do something fun and add a little bit of color to the look, and I decided to go with these. I really love them. The buckle is so fabulous. As said, this is like such a Brian Jones style too. It's kind of like a very androgynous late 1960s look. I debated cutting my bangs before filming this video this morning, but then I was a little too lazy and now I'm regretting it because they're definitely poking my eyes. Last but not least, I added this hat. You just cannot go wrong with an oversized hat if you want to do a 1960s look. For my next look, I wanted to go with an authentic pair of denim from the time. So I actually bought these really randomly when I went on my tiny little bachelorette trip with my best friend. We went to like this one random little thrift store and they had these pants. And these pants are so perfect for me. They're kind of on the edge between a straight leg pant going into a flare. They don't flare out too much and they're not too tight at the top, but I really, really love them. For me, these are the perfect vintage jeans. And when I think about denim in the 60s and 70s, I always think about Jane Birkin. She just had these like effortlessly chic, cool looks in the late 60s, and I wanted to style this inspired by her. So I went with this ruffly blouse. It is a linen blouse, and the kind of like free-spirited light fabric reminded me so much of her. For a belt, I wanted to go with this brown one. You've seen me style this so many times. It's just a suede dark brown belt that I adore a lot, and I have had this for so many years now. It's just one of my favorite belts, to be honest. With a lot of these looks, Jane kept it simple, but sometimes she decided to wear jewelry, so I wanted to do a look inspired by that. I have this wonderful little vintage necklace that like makes fun little noises, and I really like it. And I felt like it added a little something extra to this look. For my next look, I really wanted to style these pinstriped pants. I think they're so cool. They work so well for all sorts of mod looks and also these kind of like rock star inspired looks. They always remind me a lot of Brian Jones, and I wanted to go a very classic 1960s look. This also would work really well as an androgynous style. I feel like as soon as you wear pants, androgyny is kind of like there for you, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I wanted to add some color because I love that these have a pattern, but I really like to style these with color on top. So I decided to go with this green shirt that I got from the Hippie Shake. It's a little bigger than what I would like it to be, so I usually tuck it a little tighter in the bag. I truly, truly adored the wonderful color on this, and then the beautiful little buttons. This to me is a piece Mary Quant could have designed back in the day. I styled this with a belt you will see me wear a lot in this video. You always see me wear this one a lot because it's my favorite belt. It has the golden square buckle. There truly isn't anything too special about it, but it's just such a perfect 1960s staple. And then for shoes, I wanted to do something with a buckle. I really like these. Something about it is just so perfect for me. Next, let me show you a very laid back look. For me, this is something I will wear on days where I'm just kind of like hanging around with my son, maybe going to the playground, something like that. I have this wonderful pair of yellow corduroys. They are like this very, very thick, kind of big corduroy, and they're just so perfectly cut. These aren't flares either. They're definitely a straight leg, and they're from the 1970s, which is wonderful, honestly. And I got them on Vinted, but the seller said that her mom used to wear them a whole lot in the 70s. Once again, a pieces inside out. I try to prep for these videos, believe me, but sometimes I just forget to fix a couple of pieces. Alright, here we go. I decided to style this shirt with it. It's just a classic little striped mock neck. It doesn't have a tag or anything. I don't think it is vintage, but it definitely has this kind of like retro style to it. One of my favorite ways to accessorize and make an outfit look more 1960s is by adding pieces that are just very distinctive for the decade. And one of the pieces that is are fur hats. These just haven't really been worn ever since then, and I really love them. So this with this outfit is just such a cozy little calm day at home, go on a walk kind of look. And then for shoes, I went with the same ankle boots I showed you earlier. And just to make this a little more realistic, because I'm usually wearing glasses, when I'm filming I usually put in contacts because the glasses will give me a reflection within the camera. These are my glasses. They're so dirty. My son played with them this morning, so I need to clean them. I have a couple of pairs, but I recently got these and I really like them. They have a really cool 1960s style to them. I'm not sure whether I've showed you my new glasses because I got 3 new pairs gifted for like a sponsored Instagram thing that I did. And I've been wearing all 3 of these a lot. To be quite honest, even though I don't have good vision, I went without glasses and contacts for way too long because I didn't like the glasses that I had. And I couldn't be bothered to put in contacts every day. But now that I have these wonderful glasses, I actually wear them 5 days a week. I now never leave the house without either glasses or contacts, and it's just so wonderful. I feel like when it comes to 1960s pants, and for me personally, textures are always so interesting to me, and something that was really popular among the hippies was suede. So I have these suede pants. I really like them. I have to say, because I don't wear pants, I feel like some of these fit me a little awkwardly, and these are definitely a pair where I'm not too sure about them. So I feel like one day I might find a pair that fits me a little better and I might exchange them, but for now these definitely do. They're actual suede. I love to wear them during fall and winter because they're just so nice and warm. I just try to make sure that it doesn't rain because these just get so soaking wet and they get so heavy that I just try to avoid that. I think you've seen me pull together this style before, I'm not too sure yet, but I decided to go with this shirt with it. It's just a little embroidered blouse, kind of like a Penny Lane style, and I really adore this shirt. I feel like this kind of like hippie look works so well with these pants, and I like to wear it cropped so that it just adds a little bit of shape to the outfit because this is very loose, then these pants are really loose. I feel like a blouse with a smocked waistband would be absolutely perfect for this look. To add even more texture, I decided to go with this belt. This is like a cow skin kind of belt. Unfortunately, in some areas, and these are the areas where usually when I wear a bag, the bag goes against, it starts to lose its hair, and I don't know what to do about it, but I really love this belt. It is so heavy that it has this heavy metal clasp. For some reason, this is a look that I could see someone like Joni Mitchell wearing. And then for shoes, I wanted to stay true within the hippie kind of look with these wooden heels. They aren't even real heels, they're actually just platform shoes, but I really like them. They're comfortable. Honestly, having good vision is just a great thing. Next up, I wanted to share another pair of denim pants because these are just too good to be true. So these are 1970s overalls, also white-legged. I'm just coming to realize that I don't really have any flares. I feel like all the flares that I have are vintage inspired. I'm just gonna put up some pictures here of me wearing flares, but I definitely, maybe it's because I'm short and flares usually sit a little weird on me because I feel like they flare so low on me because I'm just too short for most of these. Maybe that's why I prefer white-legged pants. I don't know. Never thought about it, if I'm being honest. I also wanted to go for a very casual look here because this video was very highly requested, but so were, can you show us how to casually style 1960s and 70s pants? So I feel like this is another good look for that because all I did was adding this little shirt. I actually got this on the same little bachelorette trip with my best friend. It also has a wonderful collar, some buttons, some little pockets, and then these kind of like details down here. I like it. It's just such a classic little look. To add a little bit of something extra, I went with this hat. This actually used to be my grandma's and she gave this one to me, and then this one in another color too. So now I need to find someone who wants to match me in these. For shoes, I wanted to add boots because these pants are a little more cropped and I don't like how ankle boots and then like a little bit of leg looks. I don't know, that's usually weird to me. So I decided to go with these boots. I love them. They're my tried and true, one of my favorite pairs. You don't really see that much of these with the pants, but I feel like the color also goes really well with the look. You know what? I actually have one pair of flares here, so let's just continue with these. These are not vintage. I got them at a thrift store. They're definitely modern made. They are velvet flares. I personally have a couple of these velvet flares and I love to wear them to lounge around the house. This is what I wear instead of like a jogger or something. I really like them. They're perfect for 1970s looks. They always remind me of Jimi Hendrix. He used to wear a lot of these wonderful little pants. I love the velvet flare. The only thing that I sometimes don't like is the top, so I will make sure to either hide it with a belt or just wear something over it, because I feel like the kind of like elastic waistband is a lot more modern than what I would like my looks to look like. I saw a lot of pictures of Patty Boyd and Marianne Faithfull in the late 1960s wearing pants, and they would often wear it with shirts, button-downs, that they would then leave open a little lower and add like a necktie. And that was kind of what I wanted to do for this look. So I decided to go with this shirt. I like how it has the ruffles up here. It's just a little corduroy button down that I felt like worked really well with the look. And then I have this necktie that I feel like goes so well with the pattern of the pants, and I just decided to use this as well. And I tied it kind of like a little more towards the side that you could still see the deeper cut of the blouse. For shoes, I went with these. These are like a 70s pair of boots. I like how they're both suede and leather. They're really comfortable. I like to wear them, and I felt like the brown matched the colors of the outfit really well. And then last but not least, I added this bag. This is actually also from my grandma. She was such a stylish lady in the 60s. I recently used it, so I need to give it a little brush. But yeah, it's just a classic little purse with some compartments, and I actually really love the clasp. If you couldn't tell from this video, I do have a soft spot for fun little vintage clasps. And you twist it and you're good to go. I really like this purse. So this is another look that I only wear in winter because it is just so hot, but I have this pair of woolen pants. I love them. This is like such a 70s pair with the centerfold and everything. The tiny little fake pocket in the front. I wore them when I went skiing earlier this year and they kept me so warm. Not to ski, I didn't go skiing, but to go like up the mountain. And they kept me really nice and warm. So I definitely recommend getting woolen pants if you live somewhere where it gets really cold. The shoes are laying on top, so let's just continue with these. These are also really warm. Just a pair of like boots from the 1960s that I like to wear with this. I kept it really simple with this outfit by just adding a white little turtleneck. But then I wanted to play a little on the accessories and I decided to go with this little necklace. I really like it. And then because I just have this and love to wear it, another fur hat. This one isn't from my grandma, I just thrifted it one day. But these keep your head so nice and warm, and they always remind me of Janis Joplin, which I love because Janis and I share a birthday, and I've always felt kind of very connected to her. I got these pants. I need to close all of them. I see that I have a habit of putting my pants in the drawers without closing the buttons. So here we go. Aren't these so cool? These were like on my thrift wish list for so long. I always wanted a pair of plaid, either straight leg pants or flares, and these are kind of like on the edge, but they're definitely a rather straight cut. But these are just the perfect fit. They're the perfect length, the perfect cut. They're not as high-waisted as some of the other pairs, but I feel like in the 60s, a lot of pants didn't go up as high as they did in the 70s, so this is kind of like a pair that sits right below my belly button. I feel like you just cannot go wrong with the turtleneck and pant kind of combo, so I decided to go with this one. This isn't quite white, but because the stripes in the pants aren't, I like to go with this one. It's kind of like a very light tan beige color. And then I added this hat, which I thrifted. This is an Angora wool quality hat. You can see the little picture of the bunny. It always makes me think of my bunnies because they feel kind of like this. Just so you know, I would never buy leather or fur new, but I feel like it is okay to use pieces that are already there. I know that the pieces I find at the thrift store have been loved for generations, or they're hand-me-downs from my family, and I just feel like it is a lot more sustainable to keep wearing them than to toss them away. And for shoes, who would have guessed it, another pair of ankle boots. These are definitely more of like a 70s pair. They're like thicker, bigger heel. They're really comfortable. I really adore these. Last but not least, I know that this technically isn't a pant, but it also kind of is. So for my final outfit, I decided to style a jumpsuit. I got this one from Day Tripper. It's just such a cool 1960s style jumpsuit. I love the fabric. It reminds me a lot of the Beatles psychedelic kind of art prints. This could have been sold in their Apple boutique. I really adore this. And what I like about jumpsuits is that you can just throw them on, put on a pair of shoes, and you're good to go. And that's kind of what I did with this one. I also added a fur hat, and I was good to go. I also like to wear this for the winter with just like a turtleneck or something underneath. They're great for layering. And these are like a very typical flare. They're kind of like tighter around my thighs, and then they flare out all the way at the bottom. Not me readjusting the camera for the final second, because I just felt like you were so close. Is this nicer? Would this have been nicer? I don't know. I just decided to try this angle. Let me know what you think, because if I sit like this, I sit right below the window, and I feel like the natural lighting is kind of nice, even though it comes from like further up because we're under the roof here. Let me know what you think. I feel like both framings looked kind of nice. So that is it for today's video. This might have been the first time you've seen me style pants, because I said I just don't wear them that much. But this made me fall back in love with pants, actually. And it made me think about how much I would still love a pair of black flared or straight-legged corduroys. And where can I find these? Maybe I need to do a vintage deep dive. I don't know. I feel like pants are the hardest thing to buy secondhand because they just need to fit you right. They're so hard to order on Vinted because even though you can take all these measurements, they might not end up fitting you the way that you want it to. So I feel like pants are just something you need to try on. So I will just try to keep my eyes out for a good pair of corduroy pants. Please let me know which of these outfits were your favorite. There are so many cool trouser trends of the 1960s and 70s, and I would just love to know your opinion. I would also love to see you styling pants. So if you wear a pair of trousers and you want to share the look with me, or really any look, you can always tag me on Instagram. This is my handle. I would love to tell you how amazing you look and look at all your vintage collections. I hope you have a beautiful day. Go out, enjoy the sunshine, take yourself some time to focus on you and your mental health today, and I will catch you in the next video where we are going to take a little trip back to October 31st in the 1960s, and I will tell you how Halloween was in the 1960s and what people loved to dress up as back then. Bye, dolls!
She comes in the dead of the night to my window, riding a frog that she keeps.